I would love for this to be in reality. So if you're, this is a screenshot of Bones Balboa inside of Upland today. So we'll go ahead and like, we'll pretend that this is actually in Upland. It's a dream, right? So we click on the, all right, here we go. Oh, the quick menu. I appreciate my developers thinking that I'm so popular. Not maybe that I'm so popular. I mean, I have hundreds of messages, but come on. I clear out my messages more than that. Anyway, we can see here, ooh, layer 2. Yeah, well, let's go to layer 2. Oh, look at that. So, welcome to layer 2. So as you can see, layer 1 is your standard Upland. That's what you're used to playing. In layer 2, we get to actually dive deeper into the metaverse. We're going to be greeted by our fun, furry friend, Lex, the layer 2 llama. Absolutely huge fan of Lex. Hey, Xlander, I'm Lex. Layer 2? What? I'm coming from layer 1. Are you sure layer 2 exists? Yes, it does. Follow me, Xlander. Yes, let's go. All right. So, to get you oriented, this is the Xlander. This is the initial, the base model, I guess you could say, of our Xlander with his jetpack and helmet equipped. And he's walking along here. Obviously, Lex is decked out in some high-end armor, which may or may not be unlockable, you know, so that's, oh yeah, no, and as you can see, you can kind of see how it gets darker, how it glows, so all of those lines are actually glowing. So, oh, press aim, oh, I missed the tutorial, okay, X to shoot, okay, so now I'm gonna, boop, all right. He wants us, so again, if we're looking, so this is, you know, street view essentially of Bones Balboa. You can go in to Lake Balboa, the top left corner of Lake Balboa, and find this property set, just as it is here. And this is what it looks like. Now, we want to transform and start building layer 2. Now keep in mind, this is for illustrative purposes in the sense that when you come to layer 2, it will already be built. You're not going to have to rebuild it, but we want to show the transformation. Hey, where are you going? Oh, Lex, don't leave me. It's so scary. Where did Lex go? All right, so Lex wants me to go on my own. All right, here's our quest. Let's do this. Destroy buildings to build layer 2. All right. My Xlander have an actual Iron Man skin. I mean, I don't know about an actual Iron Man skin, but I mean like a man of metal. Now, if you have contacts at Marvel that will license that to you, we can have a discussion. So let's build some stuff. So here is a line of buildings. Now, this is exactly how it's built inside of Upland, because this is the side of the Bones Balboa skull. And as you can see, they're fairly plain. Now, let's say that you wanted to make this a giant train. All right, so picture in your mind. Can you close your eyes and picture a giant carnival train? Okay, well, let's see what that would look like in layer 2. Let's destroy these buildings, and there we go. Hello. So you can see here, this is more or less the same skin. Like here, it's the same underlying piece, right? So there's the building. It's still there. And but now it's got, you know, an exterior that is more branded and interesting to the environment, to the metaphase. And this is, and I guess I should probably say that, for Upland, so, all right, here, we'll do the spiel this way. So inside of UPX World, we have different experiences. This is one of the experiences, and this experience is related to Upland. This is called the Upland Metaphase experience. And a metaphase is simply the replication of some or all of an Upland area in 3D, so that way we can interact with it and play with it. So in this case, this is the Bones Balboa Metaphase, where these properties belong to the development project of Bones Balboa. And when you came in, you would be able to, say, walk around this really cool carnival, maybe see some other friends that are doing it, and interact with them that way. Now, there's a bunch of different things. Oh, that was a ricochet. I got 2 for 1 on that. That was pretty cool. Boop. So, all right, so here's our townhome. Again, imagine the possibilities now for your communities being able to create unique interactions for your neighborhood through these metaphases. This is what, in my mind, and I think hopefully for a lot of us, what the future of Upland can look like. Oh, we unlocked an arcade game. So inside of it, I mean, yeah, it's cool. You can walk around and it's branded, but really you want games, right? You want things to do. So there's a game. Before we get to the game, though, I want to show another key functionality. Are these explode? Is when we talk about the relationship between layer 1 and layer 2, you saw when it first started, we were in layer 1, right? We were in Upland, and then there was a really cool link, and it brought us here. Yes, ideally, that's how that would work. I don't know when that would be, but for the most part, what's going to happen is you're going to go into and play UPX World, and I can tell you, and you go, well, how are we going to play UPX World? Well, if you know about Steam and the Steam store, we have been approved to publish our game on Steam, which is super exciting and a huge accomplishment for a Web3 game, because we aren't built on the blockchain and we don't directly sell NFTs or work with cryptocurrencies. We are able to leverage the existing infrastructure of gaming platforms such as Steam and Xbox and PlayStation without any issues on the regulation. Oh, hashtag full steam ahead. Oh, yeah, I like that a lot. See, that's why you get paid the big bucks, Scotch. That's some marketing genius. Hashtag full steam ahead. I like it. That is so cool. So, as I see it, what we're going to have and what the value proposition of UPX World is bringing players in through Steam. So when we're streaming our games and playing these events, people are going to go, ooh, let me look at UPX World, and they're going to go to, say, our Steam page, and they're going to see the videos, and they're going to download the game just like they do any other video game. And they aren't even going to realize that they're really interacting with all of these fantastic Layer 3 assets. So how then do we get them back to Layer 1? Well, let's say that you're enjoying this carnival, and then maybe there's a secondary view, right, where you can then switch your view or see a different overlay that would show you, hey, that property there is actually for sale. So here you can see this really cool carnival. Oh, wow, I like this purple tent. Oh, hey, it's for sale. Hold on, let's go check that out. Hey, Xlander, press B if you're interested in this property. Well, I am interested in this property, so let's do that. Oh, and look at that. Lo and behold, it takes us directly to Layer 1. This is in-game, in Upland. You can do it here. Play Upland. Here's our property. This is a live property that is actively for sale in Bones Balboa. So you're able to see... and go, oh, wow. And again, now, like, I'm a guest, maybe I don't have an account. That's an opportunity for us to help get them connected, things like that. This, to me, is a crucial element in everything that we're building, because the entire value proposition of a Layer 2 game and utility platform in Web3 is to help extract like the value from the mass market into Layer 1, right? So this is a great example of, well, wow, I can actually own this property that's in this game. And that, to me, brings a lot of value to, game creators and communities, because if you're holding, let's say that there's a cool street event. So imagine a festival with parades, a block explorer parade, things like that. you would have a lot of interest, I would imagine, in being like, wow, I wish I could own one of these properties. Now, let's take it to another level. The value proposition here is these are not just for decoration. So anybody who has followed anything about Bones Balboa knows the other thing is just decentralized revenue streams. So let's say that it's 100 UPX per ticket, whatever the cost is, and then you're playing some games. Whatever the revenue that this particular metaphase generates, we are actually implementing a profit share with all 153 properties. So there's 153 properties that make up Bones Balboa. And as we accumulate funds, that will be distributed to the property owners based on the number of residents inside of their building. So for instance, apartments get 8 shares, townhouses get 3 shares, and small townhouses get 1 share. So this now has additional revenue opportunities. Why is this important? Well, if you watch the MMA, yeah, no, it was not that brutal. The AMA, let's try that. If you watch the AMA queue for Upland, you'll notice that they said that there is going to be a reduction in interest earned on your properties coming up again. So it was originally 17 and change. It's now, I think, 14.7, and it will likely go down. And it will continue to go down, probably never to 0. But that means that as a player, you're going to need to figure out a way to essentially compensate for that, I guess, or replace that. And the way that you do that is through projects like this and through Layer 2. Because these properties here are all going to continue to get passive income based on this metaphase. So while the properties right outside this neighborhood or right outside this build are having their value reduced potentially, or their interest at least, their passive income reduced, UPX World properties and neighborhoods have the potential to increase that for their communities. So we are very excited to kind of drive this and pioneer it and kind of showcase what does that actually mean for the community to have additional revenue opportunities in Layer 2, because that to me is the big differentiator. So now we have a carnival. Of course, a carnival is going to have games, right? Of course. Oh, I got a little ambitious there. All right, let's see here. So let's see if I can do better. There was a lot of lag and issues there. So welcome to Block Explorer Shooter. Draw your weapon with the X, aim right click, shoot left click. You only have 10 bullets and 10 targets. Good luck. Press escape when you're ready to start. Okay. Boop. There it is. All right. So here we go. Oh my goodness. All right. So they're going to pop up randomly. Oh, it wasn't loaded. Come on now. Oh no. Nailed it. All right. 1. Oh no. I hit that. There we go. 2. Oh, no. Oh, man. 3. That was a pretty bad score. All right, let's try that again. So you can see, even a game like this, maybe you pay a little bit of UPX and the high scores, win a prize. You could win different exclusive items, or even win UPX. Oh, that was good. 7 was pretty good. Let's go walk around, see if there's other things to blow up. So as you can see here, like even these, so we have, just some carnival themes, but you're able to bring a lot of, your own style, and it doesn't have to be exact replicas. So it's interesting because there's going to be a couple different options on the metaphases, and we definitely want to be, rolling this out to people as it goes. Like, these aren't, interactive buildings, but they also don't have to be exact replicas. So you can see here, this particular building turned into a Ferris wheel. Yes, that's what it is. The TML Ferris wheel, which is super cool. So as you create these different metaphases, and we have items and abilities to create different things, you will be able to configure your metaphase depending on what you want. So what kind of theme do you want? Is it a carnival? Is it a horror theme? Is it a steampunk theme? And we have creators working on all kinds of, oh my goodness, I did a lot of destruction there. Let's say everything render. Oh my goodness, it's collapsing. Oh, another train. There's a ton of potential stuff here. So when we talk about, what are these metaphases, in addition to showcasing your community, we talked about the personal metaphase, which is going to allow you to display different, kind of like The Sims, right? So if you've ever played The Sims and you've had your house and you can decorate, which is honestly, I think, something that most of us just want to do in general with Upland. So a personal metaphase would be a single plot of land with your single property that you'll be able to decorate with various NFTs or various other goodies that maybe you get around UPX World or through different experiences. And that is going to be, I think, probably one of my favorite things. And then you can visit each other and see what kind of cool setup you have. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to show you guys that as that gets built out. So there we go. This is the alpha version. And again, this is pretty, simplistic, not a ton of games yet. We are working on games, and they're going to be fun, small games. Like, could I throw my legits in the house and have people check them out? Absolutely. I definitely want to be able to showcase things like your legits. If you have your cars and they're parked out there, if you have decor, right? So UPX World is one of the first, groups to have a decor shop. We actually have partnered with the UPX podcast decor shop owner, Too Stupid to Win. Obviously, he is probably... Oh, did you see that bounce? Did you see that bounce? It ricocheted off the property sign. I think that was a good shot. So he is a good friend of mine. Probably my best friend, honestly, at this point. We're really close. And so, and we met in Upland. Like, that's crazy. Over 2 years ago, like, we knew each other only because of this. And now we have the opportunity to collaborate. And so he is working on building decor as well. That will be featured in UPX World in different ways. So he has the OG anvil, and we have the test tubes statue, which will both add to functionality. So for instance, here, if you wanted to specify, I don't know, a game of strength, maybe the anvil represents one of those games of strength, and then you're able to play it, and as you, say, pay fees for that revenue would go back down to the owner of that item. So passive revenue for decor, passive revenue for your properties. If you're starting to notice a theme, that's good, because it should, because we are doing, if layer 1 is the decentralization of assets, layer 2 is the decentralization of revenue streams. And that is critical, I think, to our success, not only as a layer 2, but that's, to me, the future of Web 3. I think having your own access to your own assets is great and super important. But much like in real life, assets can only get you so far. If you talk to anybody, who, talks about wealth management and generational wealth, things like that, it's about revenue streams. And the gaming industry is a multi-billion-dollar revenue stream generating giant. And that currently funnels down from the masses who all, pay their microtransactions, and then it gets filtered down to a handful of large corporations. And that's just how that industry works today. With what we're building, and I think really what the goal of Web3 is the democratization of really that everything, right? So when we look at the space, we have, moving of assets and wealth to a digital space. So you have your digital portfolio of assets, and now you'll have potentially ways to generate revenue for that. So our goal is to take all of those microtransactions, those billions of dollars every year, and try to distribute them as much as possible throughout the community, focusing on creators as well as just early adopters of the technology. So, which is all of you, by the way. If you are in the space right now, if you own layer 1 digital assets today, you are an early adopter. You are going to benefit from, well, this is a cool view. You're going to benefit from layer 2 development. And that's not just UPX World. That's really any layer 2 development that leverages your assets. Everywhere that it can be used is going to bring value back down to your NFTs or other projects. This is what's so neat, is that we're going to have such a variety of different metaphases that you'll be able to pick and play. And then we'll also be able to give you insight, right? Well, is this kind of carnival significantly more used than, say, a dark, scary skeleton carnival? I don't know. Maybe we'll make both and find out. Also, I'll call out one thing here, which is a known, not necessarily known issue, but when we're talking about developing, it is important. We use the exact everything from Upland. So these properties here are rendered based on their GeoJSON locations. The properties of the buildings are based on the same thing. And you can see, so when we talk about skinning of buildings, these buildings have a little bit extra flair, which is fine because it really builds to it. But you can see here why we do limit and try to limit how much extra goes beyond the actual skin inside of Upland specifically, because this one is overlapping on this property, and you can see this, words here clip through the building because it goes outside. So those are things, and again, I don't know that it necessarily takes too much away from the experience, but just something to think about. If you're one of the designers of skins, or you're thinking about how you would design it, keep in mind that the closer you keep the dimensions to the actual property, the less you'll have to worry about how it renders. Because the idea here is you don't want to have to manually create everything, right? It should auto-populate. And when somebody builds a new property, or a new building, you want it to automatically render correctly and be skinned correctly. You don't want to have to do a bunch of manual touch-ups every time something spins. So scalability is critical as well to what we're achieving, and automation. And so we're going to see a lot of that showcased in the Metaphase creation specifically, because this is going to dynamically leverage the metadata of Upland relating to properties and buildings and neighborhoods to auto-generate these environments with predetermined options. So obviously you see here, like, this is a sunny, fun sky. Maybe it's snowing, maybe, environmental things can change. Stuff like that will be really fun to see. Holidays for sure are going to be a blast to see what people do with that. So that's going to cover our demo for today.